Well, my daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to Ma and me, just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him 'cause he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. It seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I'll tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars, I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I'd just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table, dealing stud, sat the dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother had, and I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you gonna die." Yeah, that's what I told him. Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, he come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. But I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the wall and into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. I tell you, I've fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun, and I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me, and I saw him smile. He said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough. And I know I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you that name, and I said goodbye. I knew you'd have to get tough or die, and it's that name that helped to make you strong." Yeah. He said, "Now you just fought one hell of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your guts and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the son of a bitch that named you Sue." Yeah, well, what could I do? What could I do? I got all choked up and I threw down my gun, called him a paw and he called me a son, and I come away with a different point of view. And I think about him now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'm gonna name him Bill or George, any damn thing but Sue. I still ain't that man.
You hear it more now in caravan camps, in senate halls, in refinery queues, in the back corners of taverns where people lower their voices the second an NCR trooper walks in. Northern Republic, Southern Republic, 2 NCRs, 2 flags, 2 governments, 2 futures pulling against each other like a rope stretched over a canyon. And the dangerous part? A lot of people don't hate the idea. North says the South drains resources. South says the North hoards power. Frontier says they both forgot what life outside the walls actually costs. Sacktown bureaucrats talk about agricultural independence. Boneyard senators talk about manufacturing sovereignty. NCR financiers talk about regional stabilization frameworks, while half the wasteland still measures wealth in clean water and ammunition. Funny thing about civilization. Once it gets large enough, it starts trying to cut pieces off itself to survive, like frostbite. Maybe that sounds dramatic, but I've walked enough NCR roads to notice the signs. Checkpoints getting tighter, regional tariffs quietly proposed, arguments over water rights turning uglier every season. Northern ranchers asking why their beef feeds southern cities, while their own sons get drafted to patrol the Mojave trade lanes. Southern merchants asking why northern sinners think they can survive without the factories and population centers down south. Everybody suddenly remembers geography when resources get thin. And somewhere underneath all that political language, there's a quieter fear nobody wants to say out loud. What if the NCR got too big to remain one country? Not conquered, not destroyed, not nuked again, just pulled apart by distance, bureaucracy, ego, and exhaustion. Rome didn't collapse all at once either. First, it argued with itself. This is NCR Frontier Radio broadcasting from just outside Sacktown, where the signal still crosses north and south. For now.
I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna be. Are you gonna give your love to me? I wanna love you night and day. You know my love will not fade away. Oh, well, you know my love will not fade away. My love is bigger than a Cadillac. I try to show it and you're driving me back. Your love for me got to be real, for you to know just how I feel. A love for real, not fade away.
You learn a lot running a radio station. Mostly the people will absolutely argue about anything if you give them enough alcohol and chairs.
She was only 16, only 16. I loved her so, but she was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. We'd laugh and we'd sing and do the little things that made my heart glow. But she was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. Why did I give my heart so fast? It never will happen again. But I was a mere lad of 16. I've aged a year since then. She was only 16, only 16, with eyes that would glow. But she was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know.
Then why did you give your heart so fast?
Boy, it never will happen again.
But you were a mere lad of 16.
I've aged a year since then. She was only 16, only 16, with eyes that would glow. But she was too young to fall in love, and I was too young to know. fall in love, and I was too young to know. Oh, she's too young to fall in love, and I was too young.
This just in, NCR expanding taxation to include unrealized potential. If you could have been more successful this year, they'll be billing you accordingly.
If the wife and I are a fussing, brother, that's alright. 'Cause me and that sweet woman's got a license to fight. Why don't you mind your own business? Mind your own business. 'Cause if you mind your business, then you won't be minding mine. Oh, the woman on our party line's a nosy thing. She picks up her receiver when she knows it's my ring. Why don't you mind your own business? Mind your own business. Well, if you mind your business, then you won't be minding mine. I've got a little gal that wears her hair up high. The boys all whistle when she walks by. Why don't you mind your own business? Mind your own business. Well, if you mind your business, then you sure won't be minding mine. If I want to honky-tonk around till 2 or 3. Now, brother, that's my headache. Don't you worry about me. Just mind your own business. Mind your own business. If you mind your business, then you won't be minding mine. Minding other people's business seems to be high tone. I got all that I can do just to mind my own. Why don't you mind your own business? Mind your own business. If you mind your own business, you'll stay busy all the time.
You ever notice how civilization mostly survives because of stubborn old men with toolboxes? I'm serious. Everybody talks about NCR senators, big caravans, rangers holding the line out east. But the world actually survives because somewhere out there, some 68-year-old lunatic is still repairing a fence nobody pays him to repair. You'll see him out there in the dust, hammer in one hand, coffee older than the Republic in the other. Fence leaning sideways like it's trying to die. And every morning that old bastard walks out there and says, "Not today." That's civilization. Not speeches, not flags, not taxes. A fence post, a shovel. A woman growing mute fruit and poisoned dirt because her kids still need to eat. That's the glue. That's a republic. Sometimes I think the NCR forgets that. You get enough polished boots in one building and eventually somebody starts believing civilization comes from paperwork. It doesn't. Paperwork comes after civilization. Usually years after. Usually carried in by some exhausted clerk asking questions nobody wanted asked. You know what the wasteland teaches you? Most people are trying. That's the tragedy of it. Most people are actually trying. Even the drunks, gamblers, even the weird little Kimatic in Newcastle who keeps insisting raccoons are government listeners. Though in fairness, I met a raccoon once that looked federal. But people are trying. That's what hurts. Caravan guard actually trying to save enough money to buy land. A bartender pretending not to cry after closing. The ranger acting tough because if he stops moving, he'll remember everybody he lost. Most people are carrying something invisible. And some days, all civilization really is deciding not to make somebody else's burden heavier. That's it. Holding the gate open, sharing the water, fixing the fence. Tiny things. Tiny things standing between humanity and complete animal madness. Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's always been enough. Anyway, to the gentleman outside Rustvale who keeps rebuilding that mailbox after Brahmin hit it every week, the Republic salutes you. Probably with paperwork, but still.
Wish on the moon and look for the gold in a rainbow, and you'll find happy times. You'll hear a tune that lives in the heart of a bluebird, and you'll find happy times. Though things may look very dark, your dream is not in vain. For when do you find a rainbow? Only after rain. So wish on the moon, and someday, it may be tomorrow, you will suddenly hear chimes, and you'll have your happy times. So wish on the moon, and someday, it may be tomorrow, you will suddenly hear chimes, and you'll have your happy time.
NCR says the new permit office has reduced wait times by nearly 40%. Of course, they also reduced the number of people allowed inside the building to 3.
Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle, as I go riding merrily along. Jingle, jangle. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Jingle, jangle. And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Jingle, jangle. Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell. Though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fell. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle, jingle, jangle, as I go riding merrily along. Jingle, jangle. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Jingle, jangle. And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Jingle, jangle. I got spurs that jingle, jangle,
I got spurs that jingle,
as I
jangle,
go
jingle.
riding merrily
As I go
along.
riding merrily
And they
along.
sing, oh, ain't you glad
And they
to
sing,
single?
oh, ain't you glad
And
to
that
single?
song ain't so very far
And that
from
song ain't so
wrong.
very far from wrong.
Oh, Lily Bell, oh, Lily Bell, though I may have done some fooling, this is why I never fell. 'Cause I got spurs that jingle, jangle,
I got spurs that jingle, jangle,
as I
jingle.
go riding merrily
As I
along.
go riding merrily
And they
along.
sing, oh, ain't you glad
And they
to
sing,
single?
oh, ain't you glad
And
to
that
single?
song ain't so very far
And that
from
song
wrong.
ain't
Ain't so very far from wrong.
Local doctor says most wasteland illnesses can be prevented with proper rest, hydration, and not living in the wasteland.
I'm just driftwood on the river floating down the tide. I don't care where this old river carries me. I keep drifting just because my heart is broken inside. And I'm tired of wishing for what cannot be. I may meet some bit of driftwood lost the same as I. Share a handshake and a tender tear or two. But it's always good luck, pal, we've got to say goodbye. I must wander on to keep my rendezvous. Though I drift through town and city, I can never stay. For I find no place to call my home, sweet home. I don't ask for help or pity, I just go my way. All I'm praying for is peace to dream alone. Oh, do it pretty, Butterball. I'm just driftwood on the river and I'm drifting on till this weary river meets the deep blue sea, where the deep blue sea may help me to forget someone. Yes, the careless one who has forgotten me. In my heart I don't feel bitter over what has been. I feel sorry for the one I must forget. And instead of being someone with the world to win, I'm just driftwood on the river of regret.
Pre-war people were absolutely out of their minds. You ever look at any of those old advertisements? New atomic toaster, now with more plutonium, safe for the whole family. Safe? Your blender glowed in the dark. Your breakfast appliances could probably split atoms. There's an entire generation of people who looked at nuclear energy and said, you know what this needs? Children nearby. I found an old pre-war magazine once out in the drifts. Whole article talking about how by the year 2077 nobody would have to work anymore. Robots would do everything. Humanity would enter an age of leisure. And now look at us. The robot bartender at the Gallows Lantern still works harder than most senators. Uncle Mordecai hasn't slept in 2 centuries. That machine has heard divorces, confessions, murders, marriage proposals, tax disputes, and somehow still politely asks, "Another whiskey, sir?" Honestly, most emotionally stable man in Old Hangtown. He's technically a floating kitchen appliance. But pre-war folks really believed technology was going to save the soul. That's the part they got wrong. Technology can make life easier. You can't make people wiser. You can't make them kinder. You can't make them grateful. That's why every age thinks it's advanced while repeating the same exact mistakes in shinier shoes. Great War didn't happen because people lacked intelligence. It happened because intelligence without wisdom becomes industrialized stupidity. And brother, industrialized stupidity can level continents. Still can. That's the dangerous part. Everybody thinks history sounds dramatic while it's happening. Usually it sounds bureaucratic. Usually it sounds like we had no other option. Temporary emergency powers. Acceptable losses. That's how civilizations walk off cliffs. One reasonable sentence at a time. Funny thing is, even after all that, people still fall in love, still play cards, still sing badly around campfires, still paint signs for stores nobody asked for. Human beings are strange creatures. World ends. Somebody immediately opens a noodle stand. That's beautiful in a way. Stupid, but beautiful.
I hear tell there's a stranger in the Jones household.
Yes, sirree, yes, sirree.
That's what I am told. I hear tell there's a new arrival 6 days old.
Yes, sirree, yes, sirree.
Worth his weight in gold. Come right in and meet the sun. Christening's done. Time to have some fun.
Yes, sirree,
Yes, sirree.
yes, sirree. Yes, sirree.
It's a big holiday everywhere, for the Jones family has a brand new heir. He's a joy heaven sent, and we proudly present Mr. Franklin D. Roosevelt Jones. When he grows up, he never will stray, with a name like the one that he's got today. When he walks down the street, folks will say, "Pleased to meet Mr. Franklin D. Roosevelt Jones." What a smile, and how he shows it. He'll be happy all day long. What a name, I'll bet he knows it. With that handle, how can he go wrong? And the folks in the town all agree he'll be famous as he can be. How can he be a dud or a stick in the mud when he's Franklin D. Roosevelt Jones? Go to sleep, my baby, and maybe you'll balance the budget by and by. Oh, you're a lucky baby with Franklin D. for your name. Mrs. Jones's baby boy is a welcome resident. Give him a fishing rod for a toy. He's the future president. When this rascal goes to school, ABCs won't matter. Teach him plain arithmetic and a course of fireside chatter. My friends, let's all shout hooray! We'll be proud to affirm when he serves his 4th term. Just you wait and see. He'll make history, 'cause he's Franklin D. Roosevelt Jones.
Pre-war toasters still work. Pre-war coffee makers still work. Pre-war governments, less so.
He was a famous trumpet man from out Chicago way. He had a boogie style that no one else could play. He was the top man at his craft, But then his number came up and he was gone with the draft. He's in the army now, a blowin' reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. They made him blow a bugle for his Uncle Sam. It really brought him down because he couldn't jam. The captain seemed to understand, because the next day the cap went out and drafted a band. And now the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a toot, he blows it 8 to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes a company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. And when he plays boogie-woogie bugle, he was busy as a bzz bee. And when he plays, he makes the company jump 8 to the bar. He's a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. Do-do-do-do-da-da, do-da-da, toot-toot, he blows it 8 to the bar. He can't blow a note if the bass and guitar isn't with him. And the company jumps when he plays reveille. He's a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. To sleep with boogie every night and wakes them up the same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and stamp their feet because they know how he plays. When someone gives him a beat, he really breaks it up when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. Da 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 da. Jumps when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B.
The loneliest people in the wasteland aren't the ones alone. It's the ones surrounded by people they can't talk to honestly. That's worse. You ever sit in a crowded tavern and feel completely disconnected from every soul in the room? Everybody laughing, music playing, glasses clinking. Somehow you feel like a ghost sitting 3 feet outside reality. That feeling sneaks up on folks, especially men. Nobody teaches men how to speak honestly without turning to a joke first. So you get these conversations like, "Hey brother, how you holding up?" A response, "I haven't driven to the mountains and disappeared yet." Everybody laughs. But there's truth sitting under the joke like a landmine. That's why taverns exist. Not for alcohol. For permission. Permission to finally say things sideways. Man will confess his entire soul while pretending he's just talking. Maybe that's enough. Maybe humanity survives because we keep finding imperfect ways to tell each other we're hurting. You know what scares me? Not raiders, not death claws, not the brotherhood. Silence. Silence scares me. A society where nobody speaks honestly becomes spiritually radioactive. Everything starts sounding artificial. Performative, polished. People stop talking like humans and start talking like announcements. Once that happens, you can feel the soul leaving a culture, like heat escaping a cracked window. So check on your people, not with a fake everything good routine. Actually ask, and if they joke instead of answering, listen carefully. Sometimes humor is a distress flare painted to look like a punchline.
I rode out of Kansas City going south to Mexico. I was running, dodging danger, left the girl that I loved so. Far behind lay Kansas City and the past that I had earned. 20 notches on my 6-gun mark, the lessons I had learned. Many times I sold my fast gun for a place to lay my head, till the nights began to haunt me by the men that I left dead. Couldn't stand it any longer with this life that I'd begun, so I said goodbye to Teeny and became a running gun. I rode into Amarillo as the sun sank in the west, my thoughts in Kansas City and the girl that I love best. as I smiled and kissed her gently and then turned away to go. Said I'd send for her to meet me when I'd reached old Mexico. I had barely left the saddle and my foot just touched the ground when a cold voice from the shadows told me not to turn around. Said he knew about my fast gun, knew the price paid by the law, challenged by a bounty hunter, so I turned around to draw. I knew someday I'd meet him, for his hand like lightning flashed, my own gun still in leather as his bullet tore its path. As my strength was slowly fading, I could see him walk away, and I knew that where I lie tonight, he too must lie someday. Now the crowd is slowly gathering, but my eyes are growing dim, and my thoughts return to Jeannie and the home that we had planned. Oh, please tell her, won't you, mister, that she's still the only one, but a woman's love is wasted when she loves a running gun. Running gun, running gun.
I got chased by a Brahmin yesterday. I'm not proud of it. Now, before anybody from Antler Downs writes in, yes, I know they're technically livestock. That one was possessed. I'm standing there minding my own business. Beautiful sunset, wind rolling through the dry grass, and this two-headed demon looks at me with four judgmental eyes, like I personally ruined agriculture. And it charges. And listen, there are few things more humbling than realizing your survival instincts activate slower than a Brahmin. I tried diplomacy first. That's maturity. I said, easy now. The animal heard weakness in my voice immediately, started accelerating. Now I'm running through a field carrying radio equipment worth more than my dignity, which admittedly is not difficult. That some rancher in the distance is laughing so hard I thought the man might medically expire. But you know what? Moments like that are healthy. Humiliation keeps the ego from becoming radioactive. The wasteland has a way of reminding you you're not the main character. Sometimes through philosophy, sometimes through livestock violence. Both valid teaching methods. That's why I don't entirely trust people who never laugh at themselves. Dangerous trait. Means the ego's gotten too armored, too brittle. Person unable to laugh at themselves eventually starts demanding the world take their delusions seriously. That's how you get cult leaders, senators, and motivational speakers. Sometimes all three at once. Terrifying combination.
Mighty man, young and I'm in my prime. Yes, I'm a mighty man, I'm young and I'm in my prime. Well, I don't pick no jobs, I'm ready for any old kind. Well, I'm a real young man, a brand new 25. Yes, a real young man, a brand new 25. Well, I'm willing, I'm able, frantic, much alive. Well, I'm 6 feet tall and I ain't no hand-me-down. Yeah, 6 feet tall and I ain't no hand-me-down. Well, I got a gal in town who calls me Good Looking Brown. Man, I'm young and I'm in my prime. Well, when you want me, holler, I'll be there on time. Well, I'm a single man, really don't need a wife. Pick up you gals, yes, a single man, I really don't need a wife. Well, I aim to stay this way, cause oh, what a wonderful life. Well, when there's there's work to do, sing for the mighty one. Yes, when there's work to do, sing for the mighty one. He'll stay on the job until the job is done.
I've walked through settlements that should not exist. Tiny places, half broken, held together with scrap metal and optimism. Somehow, people still plant flowers there. Gets me every time. Flowers. In a wasteland. That's rebellion. Not violence. Beauty. Choosing beauty in an ugly world is one of the most defiant things a human being can do. That's why tyrants hate artists. Artists remind people that they have souls. You can control hungry people easier than hopeful people. Hopeful people start imagining alternatives. And imagination, that's dangerous. That's why every civilization eventually starts fighting over stories. Who gets to tell them? Who gets remembered? And who gets erased? Because stories become identity. And identity becomes destiny. I think that's why radio matters. Not because of information. Because of companionship. A voice in the dark saying, you're still part of humanity. Even out there. Even alone. Maybe especially alone.
Well, I'm getting tired working hard every day. Working every day and not getting much pay. I got a big Geiger counter, it's a pretty good rate. When the needle starts clicking, it's the way I'm gonna dig. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, bait it up like hay. Have a rocking good time and throw it all away. Well, I can see me now in my long Cadillac. Engines in the middle, spare wheel on the back. Man, don't you know it'd be hard to stop when I find that big uranium rock. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, bail it up like hay. Have a rocking good time and throw it all away. Yes, that's me in my long Cadillac. Heading down the road and I ain't coming back. Ain't no red light gonna make me stop when I find that big uranium rock. Money, money, honey, the kind you fold. Money, money, honey, rock and roll. Break it in, bail it up like hay. Have a rocking good time and throw it all away.
Folks out near the Cordova Drifts say the old speakers have started humming again. NCR says there's no cause for alarm. That phrase alone should probably be cause for alarm.
Oh, give me land, lots of land, under starry skies above. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide open country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze and listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in.
Just turn me loose, let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western sky. On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise.
I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences and gaze at the moon
till I lose my senses, and I can't look at hobbles, and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in.
Oh, give me land, lots of land under starry skies. Don't fence me in. Let me ride through the wide country that I love. Don't fence me in. Let me be by myself in the evening breeze and listen to the murmur of the cottonwood trees. Send me off forever, but I ask you please, don't fence me in. Just turn me loose, let me straddle my old saddle underneath the western skies.
On my cayuse, let me wander over yonder till I see the mountains rise. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I want to ride to the ridge where the west commences, and gaze at the moon till I lose my senses, and I can't look at hobbles, and I can't stand fences. Don't fence me in. No. Papa, don't you fence me in.
Reminder from the NCR Treasury Office: failure to pay taxes may result in penalties. Paying taxes may also result in penalties. Details available upon request.
Goodbye, Joe, me gotta go, me oh my oh. Me gotta go, pull the P-road down the bayou. My Yvonne, the sweetest one, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, a crawfish pie, and a filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see Mama Shazamio. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and be gay, oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Doors, the fountain knows the place is buzzing. Kinfolk come to see Yvonne by the dozen. Dress in style and go hog wild, me oh my oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, a crawfish pie, and a filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see Mama Shazamio. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and be gay, oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou. Jambalaya, a crawfish pie, and a filet gumbo. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna see Mama Shazamio. Pick guitar, fill fruit jar, and be gay, oh. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bayou.
Now, before I get into this story, I should probably explain something to the newer folks tuning in from outside Sacktown. If you're ever headed up toward Old Hangtown, and I mean really headed there, not just passing through with your caravan guards white-knuckling their rifles and praying the road doesn't collapse beneath them, then there are a few people it's in your best interest to know. Old Hangtown's one of those places where introductions, they matter. Sometimes more than caps, sometimes more than caliber. You walk into the wrong saloon without knowing the room. You might accidentally insult the deputy, sit in somebody's dead brother's chair, or end up owing money to a man who measures interest rates and missing teeth. And if you ever find yourself climbing the hill toward the Gallows Lantern, well, you ought to know about old Uncle Mordecai. Now, depending on who's telling the story, Uncle Mordecai is either a relic, a ghost, a malfunctioning pre-war hospitality unit, or the only bartender in the wasteland who remembers your drink before you do. They say he's been hovering around that bar longer than some NCR settlements have existed. Probably longer. Old polished brass body, little dents everywhere, one optic brighter than the other, towel draped over one arm attachment like he's still trying to impress customers from 200 years ago. And the piano? Lord help me, the piano. You'll hear it before you see him. Some old pre-war tune drifting through the lantern at 2 in the morning while rain taps against the windows and caravan folk pretend they aren't listening. And somehow he always knows when somebody's carrying grief through the door. Doesn't ask questions much. Just slides a glass across the counter. Plays something soft on the keys. Lets the silence do the heavy lifting. Now Judge Pike will tell you not to trust machines that remember too much. Tilly says Mordecai flirts like a widowed uncle at a county fair. Harold's convinced he's secretly running Old Hangtown from underneath the saloon. And honestly, I think Mordecai enjoys all three rumors. But if you're making your way up there someday, do yourself a favor. Tip well. Don't touch the piano. And if Uncle Mordecai tells you, "You look tired, son," you sit down and listen. Now, where was I? Right. So about 3 nights ago, I'm up in Old Hangtown trying to avoid paperwork. And before any NCR officials listening start getting excited, yes, technically I still had outstanding forms filed with the Office of Route Authorization and Hazard Apportionment. And no, I was not going back to Sacktown just because some bureaucrat with soft hands stamped urgent on a sheet of paper. So I did what any freedom-loving citizen of the Republic would do. I hid in a saloon. Rain was coming down sideways that night. Old town smelled like wet timber and coal smoke. Gallows Lantern, it was packed solid. Deputies near the stove, caravan guards playing cards. One poor fool from the hub trying to explain market speculation to miners who solve economic disagreements with chairs. And up at the piano, Uncle Mordecai, playing this old pre-war melody so soft, you almost missed it under the noise. Now here's the thing about old Mordecai. He notices people. Not the way humans do. Not normal. He notices patterns. How somebody walks, how long they stare into a drink, how many times they check the door, how quiet a room gets around certain people. And that night, he noticed somebody before the rest of us did. There was this traveler sitting alone near the back wall. Dusty coat, hat pulled low, hands shaking just enough to notice if he'd spent enough time around frightened men. Every few minutes, he glanced toward a window, like he expected something outside to be staring back. Most folks, they ignored him. In the wasteland, nervous people aren't exactly rare. But Mordecai, he kept watching him. Didn't say a word. Just kept playing piano. After about 20 minutes, Mordecai suddenly stops mid-song. Whole room notices. Even the card game goes quiet. And in that cheerful old hospitality voice of his, "Sir, I strongly recommend you move away from the window." That traveler freezes. Everybody else kind of laughs awkwardly. One deputy actually mutters, "Here we go again." But the traveler listens. Slowly gets up, moves toward the bar. And maybe 30 seconds later, gunfire tears through the front window. Psh, psh, psh. Whole place erupts. People diving, tables flipping. Outside, 3 raiders on the ridge. They're trying to shoot into the lantern from the rain. Deputies of return fire, caravan guards blasting through broken windows. Whole firefight. Somebody throws a chair for reasons still unknown to God. Through all of it, Uncle Mordecai lowered himself beneath the piano, opened a hidden compartment, pulls out this pristine pre-war shotgun. I swear to you, polished walnut, gold trim, probably older than the Republic itself. And in the most polite voice imaginable, aggressive behavior will result in removal from the premises. Blam! One shot, one. And apparently that was enough to convince the raiders the evening had lost its charm. They vanished into the hills. Rain kept falling. Deputies checked the bodies outside. Folks sat back down. Some poor bastard realized he'd spilled his drink during the shooting and looked genuinely devastated. And Mordecai? He just reloaded the shotgun, put it back underneath the piano, smoothed out his towel, and resumed the song exactly where he left off. Didn't miss a note. And that nervous traveler, he asked Mordecai afterward how he knew. What tipped him off? Mordecai just looked at him for a second, optics humming, before he said, Sir, after 2 centuries in the hospitality industry, one develops an ear for incoming trouble.
There is a rose in Spanish Harlem, a red rose up in Spanish Harlem. It is a special one, it's never seen the sun. It only comes out when the moon is on the run and all the stars are gleaming. It's growing in the street, right up through the concrete, but soft and sweet and raining. There is a rose in Spanish Harlem, a red rose up in Spanish Harlem. Cold, then looks down in my soul and starts a fire there, and then I lose control. I have to beg your pardon. I'm going to pick that rose and watch her as she grows in my garden. I'm going to pick that rose and watch her as she grows in my garden. There is a rose in Spanish Harlem. La 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 la. There is a rose in Spanish Harlem. La 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 la.
Caravan ride to Sacktown now includes complimentary water rationing and 60% lower chance of robbery. That's what they put in the poster anyway.
Love your hat, Judy. Where did you acquire that?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me about that thing because there's a very interesting story attached to this hat. I was walking down the boulevard the other day when I ran into Miller's and Palmer. You know
How
Miller's
do
and
I
Palmer.
get into these things?
Well, no, now let me finish because we went around the corner of this little millinery store and she looked at the hat in the window and said, that is exactly for you. And I do you think it's too matronly?
Cut. When I got my arm around you and we're going for a walk, must you yatta-ta, 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 talk, talk, talk? When we're sitting close together in a cozy taxi cab. Must you yatta-ta, 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 gab, gab, gab. Aristotle, mathematics, economics, antique chairs, the classics, the comics. Darling, who cares? There's a brand new moon this evening, and the weather should be fine. If you yatta-ta, 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 same old line, I'll politely close your lips with mine.
How's your golf,
My
babe?
golf, I'm really moving that ball out there a ton. Had a 69 Sunday, a terrific wind blowing, would have been 65, but couldn't drop a single putt. No luck at all, it was murder.
I lost my head with
And
that
equipment,
question.
you can't get any golf balls. The actors are hoarding all the golf balls, and the caddies, they want an annuity for 18 holes. You got to take an option on one to be sure you're going to have a caddy.
Cut!
Sorry.
When the parlor lights are lowered and the family isn't in, must you yatta-da, 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 chin, chin, chin. When there's music softly playing and I'm sitting on your lap, must you yatta-da, 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 yap, yap, yap. Forward passes, second baggers, or a jockey who is hot, or boxing, or hockey, darling, so what?
I'll attempt some other evening
You can call for me at 9.
calling. But if you yatta-ta, 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 same old line.
What do you mean, the same old line?
Same
You
line.
simply asked me a question. You've been standing talking for an hour and a half about golf. You asked me about my hat.
Yes.
You never let me finish the story. I told
Steady.
you the sales lady came
Told
up
you
to
what
me.
I was going
no,
to do.
let me finish because this is very interesting
Steady,
story.
steady.
It's so nice to close your lips with
Anybody hurt?
Stopped by the Gallows Lantern last night. Uncle Mordecai polished the same glass for about 20 minutes straight. Still looked dirty. Now that's commitment.
I can see that lone star from 1,000 miles away, calling me back home, though I ventured far astray. When I see that beacon shining for me all alone, it calls me back to Texas and to home. Lone star, shine down on my hometown, fill my memory, light my way. Cattle in the old corral, the open range all round, sunlight and the smell of new mown hay. I remember though I've wandered and much happiness I've found, still I wish that I could be back there today. I know my home is waiting for me by the river's shore. I know that all the ones I love would welcome me once more. In dreams I see them now, though it seems I'm bound to roam. My thoughts are still of Texas and of home. Cattle in the old corral, the open range all round, sunlight and the smell of new mown hay. I remember though I've wandered and much happiness I've found, still I wish that I could be back there today. I know my home is waiting for me by the river shore. I know that all the ones I love would welcome me once small. In dreams I see them now, though it seems I'm bound to roam. My thoughts are still of Texas and of home.
Sacktown housing market remains strong, mostly because nobody can afford to leave. Oh, and before I forget, some listeners have been begging me to start introing the songs before they play, like a proper radio station. So this next one goes out to all you Brotherhood boys. I know you're listening. A little advice from old Cav. I hear this song kicks ass while you're jamming in a vertebra to your next mission. This is Little Richard with Long Tall Sally.
Gonna tell Aunt Mary about Uncle John. He claimed he has a misery, but he having a lot of fun. Oh, baby. Yes, baby. Woo, baby. Having me some fun tonight. Yeah. Well, Long Tall Sally, she's beautiful species guy. Everything that Uncle John need. Oh, baby. Yes, baby. Woo, baby. Having me some fun tonight. Yeah. Well, I saw Uncle John with bald head Sally. He saw Aunt Mary coming and he ducked back in the alley. Oh, baby. Yes, baby. Ooh, baby. Having me some fun tonight. Yeah.
Uncle Mordecai knows exactly 312 songs. Every one of them somehow sounds like your regrets.
I was standing by the window on one cold and cloudy day, and I saw the hearse come rolling for to carry my mother away. Oh, can the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a bitter home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. Lord, I told thee, Undertaker, Undertaker, please drive slow. For this body you are hauling, Lord, I hate to see her go. Can the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a bitter home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky. I followed close behind her, tried to hold up and be brave, but I could not hide my sorrow when they laid her in the grave. Can the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by?
the sky. Went back home, Lord, my home was lonesome. Missed my mother, she was gone. All my brothers, sisters crying, what a home so sad and lone. Can the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a bitter home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
Had a stew in Old Hangtown yesterday. Couldn't identify the meat, which usually means the chef succeeded. Oh, and if you want to get in the good graces of Uncle Mordecai up in Old Hangtown, next time you're up there, you just ask him to play this next one by name. He loves cheering people up with it. It's called The Easy Winners by Scott Joplin. Listening to NCR Frontier Radio, still broadcasting, against several recommendations.
Life could be a dream, life could be a dream. Shaboom. Life could be a dream. Shaboom. If I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom and open, we'll meet again. Boom, ding dong, ding dong, a lang, a lang, a lang. Oh, whoa, whoa, dip, a bib, a dip. Oh, life could be a dream. If only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you, life could be a dream, sweetheart.
Every time I look at you, something is on my mind. If you do what I want you to, maybe we'd be so fine.
Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we meet again. Boom, ding dong, ding dong, a lang, a lang, a lang, a lang, a lang, oh, dip, a bib, a dip. Oh, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, and tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we meet again. Boom, boom, boom. Ding dong, ding dong, a lang, a lang, a lang, a lang, oh, bip, a bib, a dip. Oh, life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Do, 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 shaboom.
Northern NCR, Southern NCR. Maybe the split never happens. Maybe cooler heads win. Maybe the senators shake hands. Maybe the caravans keep rolling. Maybe the map stays the same. Wouldn't be the first time politicians screamed about disaster, quietly signed paperwork behind closed doors while everybody else kept working the fields. But the conversation itself matters. Because once a nation starts imagining itself in pieces, it changes the way people look at each other. Rancher in Antler Down starts wondering if Sacktown even knows he exists. Dark worker near the boneyard starts wondering why he should care about farms 600 miles north. Frontier settlements start asking whether either side truly protects them or just taxes them. And the truth is, both proposed NCRs could probably survive. North has the water, farmland, energy, salvage routes, enough stubborn frontier blood to keep the lights on through sheer resentment alone. The South? Industry, population, manufacturing. Old world bones still capable of producing something besides bullets and paperwork. Independent, self-sustaining, suspicious of each other. That's the part that keeps me awake. Because nations, they don't always die in fire. Sometimes they become strangers. Not here in the wasteland. Strangers eventually become rivals, then borders, then checkpoints. Then young men with rifles staring across fences their grandfathers never needed. Maybe that's where this road ends. Or maybe this whole thing blows over like another Senate panic and nobody remembers it in 5 years. Hard to say. Wasteland has a habit of punishing certainty. Until next time, keep your lantern lit. Keep your radio close. And remember this. A republic is held together by more than roads and laws. It's held together by whether people still believe they belong to the same story.